What's up, guys? Welcome to Tech News Day.
So just last week on this show, we were telling you all about how Elon Musk, the face of Tesla, SolarCity, SpaceX, and that Hyperloop, he had issued a grave warning that unregulated artificial intelligence could pose an existential threat to human civilization in the coming years. The comments came during a guest speaker Q&A that Musk was giving at a meeting of the National Governors Association, where state governments had convened to compare notes on pressing topics like automation, and they had probably assumed that Elon Musk's thoughts on the subject would be reassuring. But no, he basically said that if we aren't super careful about AI, it's going to be very bad news for human beings.
Now, of course, as soon as Musk's doomsday prophecy had started making headlines, others in the field of AI and robotics quickly gave their own thoughts on the topic, and many said that Elon Musk was just being alarmist, that the current state of AI indicates we've got nothing to worry about, as we've, shown you on this show, and
Nothing to see here.
this was just another example of Musk saying controversial things to stay in the news cycle and keep attention on his companies, like when he said we were all living in a simulation.
Right.
Now, our takeaway from the whole thing was that, yeah, an artificial general intelligence capable of destroying civilization, it's still quite far away. Not impossible, but it's quite far away. It's probably a good idea to talk about it now while we've got the time, but still.
Yeah.
It's gonna be your great-grandkids.
Be better to talk about it instead of going, nah,
Yeah.
nah. Anyway, those initial criticisms of Musk's remarks, they came from people working in the AI field whose names most people have never heard. Just a bunch of nerds. Bunch of eggheads. All that changed, however, on Sunday when Mark Zuckerberg fired up his backyard grill and had a Facebook live stream so that he could hang out with users of his platform and answer their questions. The whole thing's very awkward. I didn't know he does this, but he does it pretty regularly.
It's like
I'm
how
hooked.
The T-Mobile CEO does, he streams while cooking in the slow cooker on Sundays.
Yeah, so anyway, the Zuck, he had some things to say about Elon's prophecies. But first off, I've got to address the fact that this Facebook live stream by the founder and CEO of Facebook looks like ass.
Yeah.
Really not the best promotion for this hot new platform.
Even I, a rich man who owns the very company this is streaming on, can't get it to look
My
good.
face is just 5 pixels. He didn't turn off notifications, so there's a loud vibrating sound like every 3 seconds during the stream. Great job, Zuck.
Even Discord has streamer mode enabled,
Yeah.
so it doesn't interrupt that.
Also, in general, looking at Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook profile, which I don't do often, it's fucking bizarre. Thousands of people are on there commenting just into the abyss in the hopes that maybe Papa Mark might just see their comment and give them some validation, but instead it just erupts into arguments between people like any good Facebook comment section.
Yeah.
The whole thing's weird.
Anyways, one of the live comments on the stream was, I watched a recent interview with Elon Musk, and his largest fear for the future was AI. What are your thoughts on AI, and how could it affect the world? And Zuck responded, while his burgers probably burned.
He was smoking meat, so he had time.
Plenty of time.
He had some
All right,
time to
cool.
kill.
I have pretty strong opinions on this. I am optimistic, and I think people who are naysayers and try to drum up these doomsday scenarios, I just don't understand it. It's really negative, and in some ways, I think it's pretty irresponsible. So a pretty innocuous response, though you could definitely interpret it as one tech giant calling out another tech giant, and that's what people did. Like in this headline in the Silicon Valley Business Journal, Zuckerberg blasts Musk warnings against artificial intelligence as pretty irresponsible.
He blasted him.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Stop dragging Musk.
Blasted!
Yeah.
So a Twitter user named Darren Cunningham tweeted that story and @tagged Elon Musk in his tweet, and Elon Musk replied, saying this: I've talked to Mark about this. His understanding of the subject is limited.
Ooh.
Oh shit! It's on, Elon. It's Musk versus Zuck, battle of the billionaires. Everyone pick a side. Only one of these absurdly wealthy men can be correct.
I think it's gonna be Mayweather. So.
Okay, yeah, not really. I mean, so on the one hand, it's not really fair of Elon Musk to be so dismissive of Mark Zuckerberg's AI knowledge when Facebook has been investing a lot of time and money into AI for a long time. On Tuesday, Zuck even posted about Facebook's AI research team winning an award at a computer vision conference for a research paper on densely connected convolutional networks.
Well, it's an award, so it's something. It means something to someone, and that's what's important. Anyways, that whole thing, it's apparently some sort of breakthrough in the efficiency of neural networks, I guess. But Facebook's research department has been publishing academic papers at a pretty solid pace for years, many of which are about AI, machine learning, and computer vision, which makes perfect sense for a company like Facebook, who has 2 billion monthly users and therefore a shitload of data to work with. Your data. The data that you gladly turned over to these researchers when you created your account. So I hope you get a small piece of that award sent right to your house.
Mm-hmm. That's why you were Time Person of the Year for 2003.
You did it.
But that brings us to why Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg don't see eye to eye on this topic. For Mark Zuckerberg, the future of AI is being able to serve up hyper-targeted ads to its users via AI that can look at your posts and photos and actually figure out what kind of person you are and what kind of stuff you're most likely to want to spend money on. For Elon Musk, AI is a way to completely alter the transportation industry through AIs that can navigate vehicles and operate machinery better and more safely than humans.
Yeah.
So Zuck's ideal AI assists and makes suggestions. Musk's ideal AI actually replaces human decision-making in a lot of ways. If Zuckerberg's AI fucks up, a man gets an ad for tampons. If Elon's fucks up, people fucking die.
Yeah.
So that's why they feel differently about this.
Now, both have really troubling implications if you look far enough ahead. I mean, as a man, I have no interest in tampons.
No, why would I want to buy that? Get out of here.
But if the guy trying to send humans to Mars in 20 years says we should be worried about AI, and the guy running the world's biggest ad-supported social network says there's nothing to worry about, we're gonna go with the Mars guy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's not to say AI and automation are something to be terrified of. They'll likely make everyone's life a whole lot better, for now. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be skeptical and tread lightly in the coming decades, because you know what? You're not gonna have to have the sex talk with your kids anymore. It's gonna be the, hey, maybe you shouldn't trust robots.
Yeah. Son, have we talked about robots yet?
We need to build a firewall.
But speaking of recent TechNewsDay stories that we need to update, remember how we told you that Amazon Prime Day, along with Black Friday and every other big made-up shopping holiday, are all mostly total bullshit? Basically, sites like Amazon make it seem like you're saving way more money than you actually are by comparing a product's sale price to its manufacturer-suggested retail price instead of comparing the sale price to what the product usually actually costs. A manufacturer price for, say, a crock pot, it might be $100. On Prime Day, it's going for $70, a 30% discount.
Yeah, you nailed it this time.
Yeah, I did the math this time.
Good.
But that's leaving out the fact that, hey, that crock pot, turns out it usually sells on Amazon and everywhere else for just $75 because it's a model from 2014. So you're not really saving 30%, you're saving something like 6.6%.
Wow, you did it.
I did the math.
Yeah. Well, thing is, it's kind of, it's a little bit illegal, or at least it can be depending on how you word things. If you say the price was $100, but you've never actually sold that product for $100, at least haven't in the past 90 days, that is deceptive. A nonprofit group, Consumer Watchdog, has been studying how Amazon prices products for quite a while, and recently published a report where they looked at 1,000 Amazon product pages and found that of the products which included a, quote, reference price, like was, list, etc., 61% of those hadn't actually been sold on Amazon for that price in the past 90 days, and 38% of the reference prices were higher than what Amazon had ever charged for the product. Bad!
They're just pulling these prices out of thin air.
Out of their ass!
I'm sure someone spent this much on it
Shibby
once.
found some of those prices up there.
The Consumer Watchdog has submitted these findings in a letter to the Federal Trade Commission, who are currently already looking closely at Amazon thanks to its acquisition of Whole Foods. They're already under the microscope. And according to Reuters, the FTC is now taking a serious look at Consumer Watchdog stuff because they, of course, have very strict and specific rules about deceptive pricing. If you're Canadian, this whole thing might sound oddly familiar because this exact same thing happened to Amazon in Canada, where this past January, they reached a settlement with Canada's Competition Bureau over deceptive pricing. And they paid a $1 million fine, which, hey, turns out maybe wasn't enough to teach this multi-billion-dollar company a lesson.
Meanwhile, a manufacturer of deodorizing products is accusing Amazon of just flat out lying about the price of their product on this past Amazon Prime Day. The company, Remedies, says their agreement with Amazon since 2015 is to list a suggested retail price of $9.99 for their charcoal footwear deodorizers. But on Prime Day, the list price was changed to $15.42 with a line through it. No, we're cutting the price. And $9.99 was the special, very exclusive,
Gotta get it now,
Prime Day price, even though that's the exact price this product has always gone for on their site. At some point, the list price went up even further to $18.44, implying savings of nearly half off for that $9.99.
Wow, what a deal. Snatch
Yeah.
them up. Now, if that's not bad enough, when Remedies started looking into things further, they say that they found that the reason for these bogus prices was that Amazon had in fact sold their products for those prices at various points in time without their knowledge.
Wow.
Over the past year or so,
What's wrong? We're making you more money.
Hey! Yeah, over the past year or two, every time their product had been mentioned in articles on sites like BuzzFeed and Forbes, the price had all of a sudden magically gone up significantly as soon as more people started buying it. Which, I don't know if this is even illegal or not. Seems like it should be.
It should be, yeah.
But it's unethical. I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely not great for a small company who depends on Amazon sales to stay afloat.
Conspiracy hat, so that this isn't actual real, considered real, but what if it was like when BuzzFeed talks about those things, they have an Amazon reference link, and they get paid for referencing those products because they're suggesting them.
Yeah.
But to offset the cost that Amazon would pay for a referral fee, they up the price based on that exact link.
I don't know. Sure. Maybe. Anyway,
Hat off.
Remedy's CEO Jason Jacobs told Fox Business, it's not like they're bumping it up by $1 and making a little bit more money. They are really tanking sales, and it kind of has a ripple effect to us being a small company trying to do demand planning. So that's fun.
Yeah. They might be in a lot of trouble, but the best part about this is that it's great for all us consumers now that they've been kind of exposed in doing this.
Exposed.
We'll get to rap facts later. Anyways, speaking of truth in advertising and carefully following FTC guidelines, the following is an ad that we were paid to put in this episode. This week's sponsoring advertiser for TechNewsDay is HP, folks. HP workstations offer unique technologies to maximize productivity and help make IT management easy. These HP Z workstations are highly customizable, offering a range of mix and match configuration features that address users' evolving needs and add flexibility. Plus, HP offers free shipping and returns every day. Check their website for terms and conditions, as well as free customer support 24/7, 365.
Right now, HP has an offer for you folks watching this show. Get 15% off select HP workstations with Intel Core i5 processors when you go to hp.com/machinima and enter code machinima at checkout. That's hp.com/machinima. Enter code machinima to get 15% off select HP workstations. Discount valid only through July 31st. HP tells us that whether you have a small business that's looking to grow or you are established and ready to take that next step, HP's workstations with Intel Core i5 processors are for you. Where's that sound again?
Okay, now we're moving on. We gotta go to Phil. It's time to get him in here because his weekly reminder is on the cusp of being told to you. It's everything in tech that's dumb and terrible. I know you're excited for it. If AI wasn't scared enough, we've done a pretty good job, but let's turn it over to Phil.
Nothing makes you feel safer than coming home, locking the doors, and drawing the blinds to keep out the government and whoever else is spying on you. Unless you've already let a robot army inside your home. Say if you own a Roomba, one of those circle vacuums that cats like to ride around, you too can say goodbye to your privacy. iRobot CEO Colin Angle said they could reach a deal to sell the maps their tiny little robot army makes of your homes in the next couple of years. Oh, and newer Roombas are compatible with Amazon's Alexa, which may or may not let the feds listen to you in your own home. Internet. All right, so let's pause on the company name, iRobot. Yes, it's the same name as an Asimov story, as well as the movie based on that, the 2004 film starring Will Smith, where, robots start disobeying and killing people. It's taking a little long on that. I'm still waiting for Skynet. Look, the big issue here is that when you buy a robot vacuum, the average person doesn't think that the sensors that detect where your walls and furniture and dog poop are going to be used to create a fairly accurate map of your home and then eventually be sold to the highest bidder. So this means that your vacuum could talk to your Amazon-owned Alexa and be like, hey, this idiot has barely any furniture in the living room. Let's play some ads so they buy some furniture and some of our cool light bulbs and whatever else that Amazon's selling. And all this kind of sounds boring and benign and small potatoes, but think about all the other companies that you interact with that have access to your really private parts of your life. It's a company called 23andMe, and they do genetic testing, and you give them some of your DNA and they tell you about your ancestry and health issues, and to do this, they need some of your DNA that you legally give to them. And they have a privacy policy saying, hey, We're not gonna leave this stuff in the garbage outside of our offices or on an Amazon server with no passwords like we're some government official. And that's cool, for now. But what happens if this company gets strapped for cash in the future and realize that, oh, wait a minute, we can sell everybody's DNA so we don't go out of business? So whichever scumballs pony up the cash can learn all about you. So currently they don't do that, but no one truly knows what's gonna happen in the future. And don't forget about if any government agency who might pressure 23andMe to turn over their library of DNA, and poof! Now whatever future Orwellian nightmare Half-Life 2 scenario where cops don't have to catch you on the street, they just go to 23andMe and with the subpoena or hack them and boom, they know all about you and your faulty weird DNA.
Then they're gonna clone you and put you in a zoo.
They will, and it's all for weird sex stuff. And this last story in the You Gotta Be Kidding Me award for the week, there's a Wisconsin company, 32M, who's offering to put a tiny little rice-sized chip under the skin of their employees, which will allow them to make purchases in the break room, open doors, log into computers, and use the copy machine.
Woo, surgery.
Because as we all know, the #1 solution to speed up the copy machine bottleneck is to jam a microchip into your flesh. Their creepy robot said, the chip is not trackable and only contains information you choose to associate it with. It does not contain a GPS capability. It actually wasn't a robot, it was one of their reps, but come on, that's fucking robot talk, but they sure do talk like a Terminator. I mean, look, I don't give a shit what you do with your body, your vacuum, or your DNA. Just realize that if you have a robot taking pictures of your home with its little sensors and it has connection to the internet, it's probably gonna get sold. If you spit into a tube to find out if you're part Viking or if you're actually related to your wife, some bad people might get a hold of your DNA at some point. And if you get a chip put into your hand so you can buy some break room snacks without having to pull out your wallet or wave it in front of doors, it starts to itch a lot. You probably seem like a pretty smart dude like me who likes cool things. And that's a wrap. Please take it out of my hand. It fucking hurts.
All right, well, let's switch gears now to some good news, guys. Are you sick and tired of hailing an Uber or a Lyft to drive your drunk, stinky ass home from the bar at 2 a.m. and then having your driver get annoyed that you want them to make a detour into the packed drive-through lane of the nearest Taco Bell for some late-night drunk munchies? Well, good news, assholes, because Lyft has now incorporated that ritual into their app via an official partnership with Taco Bell called Taco Mode. Brew, brew, brew! It lets you add that late-night Crunchwrap Supreme detour into your trip through a simple push of the button, and there's nothing the driver can do about it.
I'm screwed. Fuck. Taco Mode is currently only available down in Orange County, where, ironically enough,
that's where the Taco Bell executive...
He punched a Uber driver.
I forgot about... Oh, my God.
This is the final comeuppance for Taco Bell and Uber.
Wow.
They're like, oh, fuck you. We had to lose a really good employee just because he got drunk and beat someone.
Piece of shit.
Just because he's a piece of shit outside the office.
Yeah.
Anyways, they plan to roll this bullshit out to the entire U.S. market by next year. And it also opens the door for other cross-promotional partnerships with retailers and fast food joints, or hell, anything. Make the driver sit with you while you go through the fucking security at the airport. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. Every driver has to fucking hate this.
They do.
Anyways, yeah, I'm sure it sounds great to the fucking assholes who still eat at Taco Bell. But here's the thing. Lyft drivers, they're not happy about this, surprisingly enough, and for some pretty understandable reasons. And now put on your adult hats because you might need them. First off, there's the mess. A Lyft driver, Ryan Burris, wrote on Facebook, Taco Bell tacos are notoriously messy and spill lettuce and cheese and that taco meat juice. And you know passengers will be wiping their greasy hands on our seats. Lyft is setting us up to be bad guys and our cars to be trashed, and that is not acceptable.
Yeah, so basically all this nasty Taco Bell is going to be everywhere. It's going to stink.
Every Lyft car is going to stink like Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's going to smell like ass. It's going to get all over the seats. And then the drivers who have the audacity to complain, they're going to get lower ratings, which can, of course, lead to losing your job as a driver.
Yeah.
And then there was a Reddit thread on the Uber drivers subreddit with the title, every once in a while, I think maybe Lyft does think about the drivers a little better than Uber. Then they pull shit like this. The thread featured comments like, all just a quick stop requests are money losers. I'm getting paid $2.39 for this short ride. Now I have to spend 15 minutes in a Taco Bell drive-thru to make my car smell like fast food with no extra pay from Lyft. No thanks.
And another comment, a user wrote, I'm not dirtying/staining my van and making it smell like dead animals for a couple measly bucks before depreciation, risk, time, and taxes. I never eat or let friends eat in it myself, so I'll be damned if some drunk dude will be. No exceptions. I carry flyers from a delivery pizza and Italian food place here and offer them that, telling them it would probably arrive as you get home if you call now. I get far more tips because it smells great, is spotless and fresh, and isn't nasty like a cab than maybe the couple bucks or even a net loss from stopping at a grease pit. I also never believe them when they say, oh, come on, I'll tip you, because it probably doesn't happen, and I'll agree. I do tip drivers if their car is clean, smells nice, they don't talk to me, and they have the AC on.
I tip well.
If the AC's on, you get a tip.
Yeah.
Stop trying to save gas. I'm very hot in the back.
So yeah, just because you can do something doesn't really mean you should in this case. Also, apparently Lyft's rates for waiting, like, for example, at stoplights or now in a fucking fast food drive-thru, they're apparently terrible, even compared to Uber. It's like 10 cents a minute or something like that. Of course, none of that will matter, though, as soon as Lyft replaces all of their drivers with robots. Because, just like Uber, that's now officially Lyft's endgame. They announced last week that they plan to hire hundreds of people for a new autonomous car division, though it's already been public knowledge that they've got deals with Waymo and GM for self-driving cars.
So yeah, why start their own internal autonomous car division? Well, Lyft has something that GM and Waymo don't have. A massive fleet of cars across the United States. And with that existing business in place, they have access to a whole lot more data than those companies have. So the companies supply Lyft with autonomous cars, Lyft adds their open platform tracking software, and Lyft is able to also supply those auto manufacturers with valuable real-world data that they can use to improve their self-driving tech. Doing so not only eliminates the huge amount of overhead that has plagued Uber as they try to do it all themselves, but it also fixes another Uber problem. Uber has pissed off other autonomous players, particularly Waymo, who they're in a lawsuit with right now, if you've watched this show previously. Meanwhile, Lyft is not only not stepping on these companies' shoes, they're collaborating with them for something mutually beneficial. So yeah,
Probably a good move.
it'll be fine in the future. You'll be able to sit in a fucking autonomous car that stinks like shit.
Yeah.
Instead of a person who actually cares about
I'm gonna
it.
throw my fucking trash in the car. What are you gonna do, robot?
Yeah, well,
Run
here's
me
what's
over?
gonna happen, and the car's gonna have like a self-cleaning mode where it pulls off
Like
and
those
just
bathrooms?
floods itself with water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just like puts some like nice vanilla smell in
After
afterwards.
each ride, it rolls the windows down and just
It
shoots
just
the
just kills itself a couple times a day. Well, the Lyft thing, to go back to that, I wanted to make the point that I think it was Uber that partnered with Spotify, where you could have
and
your
it was
Spotify
terrible.
playlist and you could take over the driver's radio. And it's the only time I've seen people use it, it was the most annoying thing, and I felt so bad for the
Yeah.
driver. I had a guy who put it on, and he was just blasting like EDM and hip hop, and the driver's like, yeah, he can't even concentrate on the fucking road because you're blasting music so loud, you inconsiderate prick. And guess what? If you make a driver go to fucking Taco Bell, you're an inconsiderate prick.
Yeah.
Plan your fucking meals better.
Yeah.
Like, if you know you're gonna be hungry when you're drunk at the end when the bar's closed, maybe go eat before you get the Uber.
Buy one of those street dogs that they're selling right outside the bar.
I know
know
Taco Bell.
you're hungry.
Taco Bell's kind of a last resort for a lot of people, I guess, because like we live in LA, we're kind of spoiled with late night snacks.
I don't know. Sometimes I get weird cravings.
But still, there's a better option.
Yeah. Be a good person. But anyway, that's our show. Thank you again to HP for being a sponsoring advertiser of this episode. HP workstations enable innovation without boundaries and expansion as your workflow grows. Plus, HP offers free shipping and returns every day. Check their website for terms and conditions. As well as free customer support 24/7, 365. Right now, HP has an offer for you folks watching this show. Get 15% off select HP workstations with Intel Core i5 processors when you go to hp.com/machinima and enter code machinima at checkout.
That is hp.com/machinima. Enter code machinima to get 15% off select HP workstations. Discount valid only through July 31st, folks. According to HP, whether you have a small business that is looking to grow or you are established and ready to take your next step, HP's workstations with Intel Core i5 processors are for you folks. Chime.
Intel processors. They're loud. Not really, though.
Yeah, they're whisper quiet probably. Anyways, that's it for the show. Check out other episodes over here. We covered that whole Pokemon Go fiasco. It's basically the next Fire Fest. And then We also talked about Anthony Scaramucci.
It's me, the mooch. Everything's gonna get a whole lot better here in Washington.
We're getting rid of the trans people in the military.
Don't need them.